So yeah, I made a dress up game. You can see in the title, so you already know what this is gonna be about. Now I'm going to break it into simple bits instead of coding the whole thing, because it was obvious that you guys didn't like that video much. Anyways, I have my character over here. Now let's try name him Bob. Now simply what Bob's gonna do is that anytime you click on a button, he changes outfit. So blue, green, purple, yellow, pink. You guys can debate in the post section which one looks better on him. So basically, we're going to start with index.html. So the index is very simple. Of course, we have the body and doc-type HTML and our H1 shape dress up game. Now I did get some of the code from ChatGPT, but only to understand. So when it's saying div class head character, div class head, class is basically what that is, and class is really useful for when you're in style.css. To say something is a class, all you have to do is click on a dot and then write whatever your class name was. So for example, I have class div class character. I'll simply go over to my CSS, and then I'll basically go enter dot character Shazam. We're done. Now we also have this class torso. Now a div is basically a container. The torso is like collecting what everything is. So we have the left arm, the right arm, the body, and you see here ID body. Now ID in VS Code stands for identification. So identification is mostly used for CSS, because as you can see we have const body and the JavaScript. Remember do that because of identification body. We also have identification legs, although I'm still working on the legs. We're just going to do the torso. Now we have her. I added that one because he was bald. And we also have line, which is basically the line you can see in between here. Now we have the buttons, the little things at the bottom of the character. And when we have on click, it's saying that when we click it, it should change color to red. So when we click red, we're going to change it to red. When we click blue, we're going to change it to blue. When we click green, we're going to change it to green, so on, so on. And of course, at the bottom, we have script main.js, which basically links the HTML to JS. Now we're on to style.css. With the legs, with the width, color background, and border radius. Without the border radius, though, we would have very spiky legs indeed. That's why we have a border radius. Now, of course, we have the body with the border radius and the arm. Now, the arms were the hardest bit for me because they kept on getting fringed all the way to the side. So the thing I had to do is do the top, because you can see without the top, the right arm is somewhere else, but with the top, it's back where it needs to be. Now we also have the left. Without the left, the right arm ain't where it's supposed to be at all, but with the left, it's supposed to be there. So top and left were the main helpers for me. Now we have the right arm, and we also have right and left again, because without the right, you can see it's somewhere else. Now we have the head. Nothing really important to explain about that, it's just that we have a round head. And now this is where it got hard, the her. Now let me show you what happens without the her. Yeah, that's what happens. So I really had to think what would happen. So I did my margin top, which is and we landed at negative 220 pixels. It was a lot of work to find that out. And as you can see, because apparently the buttons are married to the her, anywhere the her goes, the button will go as well. So I had to code that, or else, as you can see, that happened, which is really annoying. And I don't like that. But if you notice, the position relative is also useful here. Because let's imagine I never put that there. The position relative put it at the top while the other layer was at the bottom. Now if you have been very focused, there's also a div class dot leg buttons. So now let me just copy the leg buttons. The leg buttons are supposed to be for the legs, but unfortunately my code did not want to work and only works for the torso. But if you want the character to have a full suit, you can always do this. Body dot style, don't mind this, the background color equals color. Now I got a full suit, but now it's only working for the legs because something happened. So, oh, that's what happened. Now we've got a full suit. So you can debate on that in the community section. Which one looks the best on him? I'm just going to leave it green. So if I code the same thing for leg dash buttons, my bad, and then just copy all the code here, and then imagine that I didn't put the margin top. Okay, I guess it doesn't need that. But imagine I didn't put the margin top. It goes on the top of it, which is extremely useful. And that will help us create our character later on. Now, since this is the base, it doesn't look the best. But it is the foundation, and every code needs a foundation. Now, you might be wondering how the hell I got this idea anyway. Well, a few months ago, let's say 3 months, I was scrolling around and then saw this dress-up game. Then I thought I can easily make this with code, so that's why we got here. Now, you have to stay available every week, so subscribe, turn the notification on, do the basics. Then you'll be able to see the process, and then maybe in the last video of this dress-up game, just ignore the shape, we're going to finally see our last character. Now, I'm going to have to do the girl outfits because since I'm a girl, doing the boys outfits will be kinda complicated for me. But so far, let's give Bob a green outfit because now he looks like Ken from Barbie, just without golden hair and eyes. I'll soon figure out the eyes. So yeah, that's the foundation of the dress-up game, and think of this as part 1. So I'll see you next week, and bye.